Did you watch it? Did you see it? You know what I'm talking about. The Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, President Trump, all-out brawl. It was like the WWE, only there was actually one person that has actually been in the WWE, at least on camera, and, you know, fake wrestled just like the other ones. Okay, he tackled one person. Hey, still fair game, right? Oh my goodness, it was glorious. If you haven't watched it, well, you're going to see it. You're going to hear about it. And I say shut down the government. Good. Okay, not only that, let's just dissolve the federal government. What do we need the federal government for? What did we need it for back then? Well, we had the great British Empire that wanted to rule these United States. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. And do you think that if there was an actual legitimate threat, which wouldn't be Europe at this point, maybe 100 years ago Europe was a problem, thank you Hitler, and maybe Stalin was a problem, way far away, would eventually maybe have been a problem, maybe not, I don't know. There's no real threat at this point. And do you think that if we dissolved the federal government and a threat did arise 10, 15, 20 years from now, maybe longer, we couldn't just reunite and come up with a federal government again? Or just join forces for solely military reasons? Why do we have a federal government? Like the states can't take care of their own citizens? They're inept? Yeah? Like, you know, you've got Texas. Texas is big enough. Is it size that really matters? If you can't take care of your people on a smaller scale, why is it that a bigger scale is going to make any difference? Oh, you have to draw funds from other people in order for your block of citizens to survive? Is that what it is? Are we going to subsidize some states because they just can't manage themselves? So that's why we have the federal government, to redistribute the money. Shut it down. Let's do a 2-year experiment. We're not going to open this thing back up until the next Congress is... I know that sounds convenient now that we don't have all 3 branches of government. Just kidding. Ocasio-Cortez said that. What's her first name? I don't know, whatever. OAC? Which she corrected herself by the right there, and, you know, she made a slip off. You know, she knows what she's talking about. Let's not pile on, okay? Anyway, I think we need to start thinking and talking about, why do we have a federal government? I'm not an anarchist. I'm just saying, why is it that we have this level of government? Is it for citizens' rights? Like, that is the only thing that is keeping everybody from violating citizens' rights? Like, it can't be violated on the federal level? It can. We have this diversity of power, state, local, federal, and different branches. It's all diversified to mitigate abuses of power. But yeah, I think we do actually need a federal government, because who knows what the states will do. But at this point, we could function just fine. I mean, imagine all the money we would save not sending $4 trillion to Washington, D.C. It's a lot of money the states could use, instead of it going to the federal government first and redistributed. So, I say shut it down. It's not actually going to shut down. It'll be a slowdown, and nothing ever happens anyway. I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun to watch. I can't not like Nancy Pelosi. I used to not like her at all, but I watched her acceptance speech or whatever after the election. She made a speech. It was a really nice speech. I can't dislike her now. I felt sorry for her as she was in a confrontation with Trump. Her body language suggested she was very uncomfortable. And I just like Nancy Pelosi. I think she's a likable person. Chuck, not really won over. I think he's just doing his thing. At this point, I have found a place in my life right now where I don't dislike the actual people involved. I think they do what they do for certain reasons. Reasons that I'm not fully going to clearly know. Might not even be ideological. Do you think the people in Washington, D.C. are really ideological? I mean, think about the Democrat side. They had the House, Senate, and they had all three. Well, okay, in the presidency, all three of the meaningful branches, the active branches. Let's put it that way. The judicial is not an active branch; it's passive. Stuff has to be brought to it. Anyway, they didn't quite get a lot of stuff done either. But there is one thing that is in their best interest to fix, but they're not doing it, and that is the budget. We got to fix this bleeding. But based on the past, we've been running a deficit most of our history. Just keep running deficits. If nothing bad happens, why should they correct course? I think if we got to the point where we were starting to default, that is when they would start doing something about it. Because why fix something that isn't broken, apparently broken? It makes me happier thinking this way, really does. I'm much happier. Of course, yesterday I kind of lost my mind a little bit in a diatribe Mike McDonnell had to hear. And just shut it down. We waste so much money in the federal government. Like, I just, we can't conduct welfare on a state level. I asked somebody, why can't we take care of this on the state level? Why can't Michigan take care of its own people? Why can't Illinois take care of its own people? And somebody told me, well, that's where all the money is, in Washington, D.C. All the money. Where do you think the money comes from? Heaven? It comes from the states. It comes from the people in the states. Those people live in states. So why can't the states have their own welfare system, their own social security system? I don't know. We've socialized everything. So anyway, that's about long enough for the 3 people that'll watch this one. Hope you enjoyed. Drink coffee.